Well, I think I ought to be leaving. Lord Van Zieks, would you care to accompany me? Certainly. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me once again to express my deep gratitude. I believe you saved my life. Wait, Lord Van Zieks. Yes? What are you intending to do now? Huh? Gonna keep doing what he's doing? Well, clearly I shall have to resign from the prosecutor's office. Wait, what? Why? Oh no! I intend to publicize the full truth about the Professor case. Once that's done, the Van Zieks family will be ostracized completely from London society. Surely not. So as soon as I am free from my employment, I shall leave the capital. Oh, I see. Who's that? Don't be a fool. No, don't be a fool. Are those the actions of a man once feared as the mighty Reaper of the Bailey? I beg your pardon. For the past 10 years, you've endured that pseudonym and been cast as one of the dark forces yourself. Now that you've finally been freed from the disrepute, your battle is just beginning, surely. Well, I certainly never expected to hear those words from your lips. I waited a very long time to come to London. Now I'm probably here. I intend to learn all that I can. Anyway, goodbye for now, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Kazuma Azuki, it seems as though he's really matured suddenly. He's not the only one who's matured, Mr. Naruhodo. Huh? Well, I think we should make our way back to Baker Street. We must help Iris with tonight's dinner. We must. It's gonna be a great party. It was then that I came to an important decision about my future. I'm home. About time you got here. We've been waiting ages, Otto. What are you doing with that colorful piece of history? It's a party, innit? It's gotta go off with a bang. I mean, fireworks ideally. But when you ain't got fire, smoke's the next best thing, ain't it? There's a girl on Fresno Street who could help you with that, I think. Right, I remember that. You don't have to reload that thing every time I speak. You really must hear this. It's the most extraordinary thing. I assure you it will defy your expectations. Take down every detail now, Mikotoba. The world-famous great detective regaling his partner with the tale of his adventure, a sight to behold. Would you care to hazard a guess? Where do you suppose the fiendish runaway had concealed himself? Would you believe? Inside the trunk I found abandoned in his cabin. I would believe it, yes. Cause he was there. I say, Mikotoba, I detect not a hint of surprise. I wonder why that is. Maybe because I was there at the scene as well, Sholmes. What? You were? Then why the deuce didn't say so before? Not quite the sight I was expecting to behold, but still. It's hard not to feel privileged to see it. Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Professor Mikotoba. I'm finally back from the Bailey. And not a moment too soon. A feast prepared by Iris and Miss Susato awaits. I must say, I haven't seen Susato looking so happy in a very long time. Runo, there you are. Dinner is on the table, everyone. Please do come and take a seat. Time to fill me boots. Oh yeah, Mikotoba asked me to come back to Japan with him. Right, I haven't really thought about that. Do I wanna go or not? Goodness, is that really true, Gina? Yep, I'm losing Mikoba's clubber and going back to what I know best. It's a diver's life for me. What? No! What? You were doing so well. What? No. You're really leaving the police force, but why, Ginny? Oh well, the boss ain't around no more, so... Oh. And anyway, no matter how hard I try, that Reaper ain't never gonna accept a diver turned dick, is he? That Reaper is no more! Well, people can change, you know? Ah yes, that reminds me. I rather thoughtfully offered to relieve the bailiff of this now defunct piece of evidence. It's the inspector's pocket watch, and the crown has been reattached. That watch was his pride and joy, a symbol of his great achievements at Scotland Yard. For 10 years without fail, it measured every second of the man's remarkable career. But now, it stopped. Someone needs to keep the memory of Inspector Gregson's career alive by taking on the great responsibility of winding that watch every single day again. Yes, someone with an equally fierce detective spirit. I'm gonna cry. It's gotta be me. There ain't no one else. Quite right. I mean, after all, the boss was... Well, it was my boss. Yes, Jenny, yes, he was. Oh yeah, and I made you a promise and all, didn't I, Iris? That I'd become a proper detective one day and track down your old man. Oh. Alright then, it's decided, I'll do it. And I swear. I'll find your dad and bring him in kicking and screaming. About that. I'm not entirely sure that would be appropriate. Yes, I think, Gina, it might be best to, well... I think I'd like you to forget that promise, Jenny. Eh? Iris? Oh well, obviously I've always wondered about who my real daddy is. Of course I have. I wanted to know where I've come from. I thought it might tell me something about myself. But I've caused such a lot of trouble trying to find out for so many people. Hurley, Runo, Professor Mickey.
Oh no, not at all, my dear. Really, you owe no apology to anyone.
Well, anyway, I've decided to give up on it, because I finally realized my daddy is the greatest in the world. I don't think it matters what his name is or where he's from. Don't you agree? Hurley?
With every word, Iris.
Thank you, Hurley. Thank you, Daddy. Oh my God!
I'm gonna cry.
I think, Mikotoba.
Yes, Sholmes?
I think that I ought to express my gratitude to you.
Oh?
For 6 years, you and I solved many a mystery together. And during that time, I remember countless expressions of gratitude for our good services. But a moment ago, I heard the most pleasing expression of gratitude of them all. And I should never have experienced it were it not for you. Oh God.
Oh. You old softy, Sholmes.
It's like the game is speaking to me directly. I'm such a softie.
But I must confess it's a weight off my mind to hear you say it.
Well then, I think this calls for a lengthy violin recital, wouldn't you say? Oh, well, the food would go cold. That's the only problem. Maybe next week, Curly. That's the only problem. Are you sure a week is long enough, Iris? Even amidst the most troubling of cases, even reeling from the most shocking of revelations, returning in the evening to the suite of rooms, there's always warmth and happiness to be had. The home of the world's greatest detective, and my home too, with my greatest family. Oh, it's such a shame. Kazuma is not with us. Kazuma and and Barak, I mean. This attic room has been my home and office for almost a year now. I've certainly had some unforgettable experiences whilst I've lived here. But I think now the time has come. Time to bid this place farewell. Naruhodo?
Oh, Naruhodo.
Oh, Professor.
Are you alone? I didn't hear any sound from Susato's room.
Yes, Susato-san went out after dinner. She took a carriage. Something about an important matter she needed to take care of.
Ah, I see. I wanted to thank you for what you did earlier.
Oh?
With Iris, I mean, when the subject of her father came up.
Lord Clint Van Zieks.
I made up my mind many years ago never to tell her who her real father was.
Why?
It's what was agreed with Genshin after all.
Lord Clint Van Zieks' final wishes before he died, you mean?
Yes, I've had to take some rather drastic steps at times to protect that secret, you know. Calling Susato back to Japan 6 months ago, for example.
Huh? That's why?
When I read Soseki-san's report about his final days in London, my heart nearly stopped. You'd stumbled across the crux of that terrible case, a dog's collar. The description of the Baskerville insignia left me in no doubt.
Baskerville?
If you'd decided to investigate that insignia, sooner or later you'd have made the connection to the Van Zieks. And to make matters worse, Susato knew of the unpublished story as well. The story that Iris had written based on my notes from the time.
Ah yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Exactly. It was a work of fiction, but based on the grim reality of a huge beast of the dark being used as a murder weapon. A dog with the Baskerville family emblem around its neck. Armed with those two clues, I feared you and Susato might arrive at the truth. So I invented that story about having collapsed to justify her leaving London and returning to Japan at once. All in aid of halting any investigations you and she might have been contemplating.
I see. Something I've never understood is why Susato-san came across that manuscript in Japan, though. You know, Iris's The Hound of the Baskerville story, I mean.
Jerome sent it to me. That was before Susato left Japan. He was very troubled about what should be done about it, you see. I'd read it and carelessly left it on my desk, which is where Susato came across it, of course.
Ah.
It was the only case Sholmes and I ever pursued that I didn't record in meticulous detail. I was stunned when I discovered that young Iris had pieced together so much from it from my paltry notes. Sholmes and I discussed the matter and decided that we couldn't allow the story's publication. At that point, I returned the manuscript by post to Sholmes for safekeeping.
But... okay... So, you did all that to stop Iris from finding out the truth about her father?
That's right, because Sholmes had told me how astute she'd become.
But what about pursue the truth, and the truth matters, and the truth always wins, sort of thing? Do we not owe her the truth at the very least?
However, having witnessed events in Kush today, I must say my opinion has somewhat shifted.
Okay. Oh?
I think at some point in the future, the time will come for Iris to know the truth. And when it does, well, I believe it will be for her best.
Why in the future? I think so too. Actually, Professor, I wanted to talk to you about something too.
Judging from that expression, I'd say you've come to a decision, have you?
Yes, I have. I will be returning with you to Japan.
Okay. Are you quite sure?
I'm really only here as a substitute for Kazuma, but he's here in Britain now, so as originally intended. Locum student Naruhodo doesn't really have a right to stay, I think.
I see.
Looking back now, when I first arrived here in February, my becoming a lawyer just seemed to be the way things turned out. With Kazuma, Susato-san, and Mr. Sholmes all gently pushing me in that direction. I spent the best part of a year immersed in this world, but always aware of a seed of doubt inside me. Until today. Standing in that courtroom earlier, all doubts vanished from my mind. I was totally focused. I was sure of my belief in my client, and I was sure I could see the trial through. And at the end of it, I finally realized. No one else chose this path for me. I chose it myself.
The path of a defense lawyer, eh?
Yes, that's what I am now. That's what I'll be going back with you to Japan as. And that's the path I'll be following for the rest of my life.
Well, it sounds like you've made quite a resolution there.
I have.
Very well then. I must say it's extremely welcome news. I shall make arrangements for your return first thing tomorrow, but don't imagine we'll depart for a few days.
Not with the symposium having been cancelled now, such a shame.
Never mind, I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in the future. Well then, I'll bid you good night.
Susato-san? Were you here the whole time? Susato-san? I just wanted to let you know I'm back. Did you, hear what your father and I were discussing? I'm sorry, I did, yes. I couldn't help but... Oh, how much did you hear? What is happening? Well, from the part about Iris's real father, I think. Okay, everything? Almost? Another was from the beginning. So you've made up your mind? You will return to Japan and continue working as a defense lawyer? Ah, yes, I'm sorry. I really should have consulted you about it. I did want to earlier this evening, actually, but you'd already gone out. Oh no, that's quite alright. I already knew that it's what you'd decide, Naruhodo-san. You did? Susato-san. Ah, yes. I suppose this means it has to be farewell soon. I suppose. You'll be a great help to Kazuma going forward. I mean, I know he's a brilliant lawyer, but he's new to the British courtroom. He'll certainly benefit greatly having a brilliant judicial assistant at his side. I'll do my very best. I wish I could say it, but I just can't. What? Say what? I can't ask her to come with me. After all, she was always supposed to be coming to Britain as Kazuma's assistant. Oh. Naruhodo. It's growing late. We should both try to get some sleep. I'm sure you must be exhausted after today. Oh, yes, you're right. But isn't the moon beautiful tonight, I mean? Isn't it? Before I retire, let me just one more time. You really were quite splendid in court today. So if you ask me, anyone who thinks of you as a substitute or a locum should be ashamed of themselves. Susato-san. Thank you. Aww. I can't believe this day's finally come. You're really leaving then, Bruno? I'm afraid so, Iris. Thank you so much for everything. I don't know what I'll do without your wonderful cooking and delicious tea. Oh, I wish you weren't going. But you have to come back and visit. Say you will. Of course, I promise.
Well, it was a very brief reunion, but it was a pleasure to pursue a case with you again after so long. For a while at least, it felt like old times.
Yes, I suppose on reflection, there's something to be said for it. Having a little fun once in a while. I'll just go and say goodbye to the professor as well, I think. Alright, Iris, you do that. Wait, where's Susato-san and Kazuma? Ah.
Susato-san.
I've just checked, Naruhodo-san. Your luggage is already on board. Such a beautiful morning. Perfect for embarking on a journey, isn't it?
Before I set off, I'd just like to say how thankful I am for everything you've done for me. And give my warmest regards to Kazuma, please.
Where is Kazuma? Why is he not here? Damn it.
I think you ought to give him your regards in person, don't you?
Oh, he is here?
Sorry?
He is here.
Ryunosuke.
Sorry, I doubted you. I doubted you, Kazuma. Sorry. Kazuma.
Kazuma! What are you doing here?
What do you mean, what are you doing here? Of course he's here to bid me farewell. What are you saying?
Do you really think I'd miss my best friend's departure?
Yes, my best friend.
Thanks. To be honest, I'd been looking forward to our wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's capital, but,
Well, we'll have to save that for another time. Personally, I'm looking forward to facing you in court again.
Me too. But, we're both defense lawyers, so,
Don't tell me he's gonna switch sides.
I'm going to become a prosecutor. I'll stay in Lord Van Zeek's tutelage for the time being, but before long, I intend to be just as formidable as the Reaper himself.
Don't say that. Or don't call him the Reaper. One of that.
Oh, I see.
Actually, Ryunosuke, I have a favor to ask.
Name it.
I'd like you to take care of this for me for a while.
What? Your Japanese spirit? Why?
Karuma? Why?
Because I've seen it now. I've seen what's inside me, the demon that reared its ugly head that day.
All the more reason for you to keep it. Oh, you mean
It was
that
only
day?
for the briefest of moments. The last time I came face to face with that inspector. But it was unmistakable. I wanted to kill him. I've always known there are demons that live inside people. And now I know there is one in me. The fact that it very nearly consumed me is something I'll carry with me until the end of my days. While I devote my life to fighting those whose demons have got the better of them. As a prosecutor.
So, that's what you've resolved to do, is it?
Until I'm ready to face the demon within me. To slay it once and for all. I leave this in your care. If you'll take it.
Of course.
Of course
I'd be honored.
I'll keep it by my side. Always.
Oh my god, that's so romantic. Kinda.
Until we meet again, then. You have your path to follow, and I have mine.
Naruhodo-san?
Yes?
The path you're going to follow from now on. I wonder if I might follow it at your side, and unless I'd be a burden.
Sato-san, what? You're gonna come with me? Oh my god. Do I have to choose between Sato-san and Kazuma? What is happening?
I mean, I would very much like you to come with me. But aren't you...
You're so predictable, Ryunosuke.
I am?
Honestly, you never change at all. But that's what I like about you.
Oh, he likes me.
You mean you knew about this?
It was the
about what?
evening after Lord Van Zeek's trial came to an end. She came to see me at the prosecutor's office.
Really? Or when I had that conversation with Professor Mikotoba?
So, you'd go with Ryunosuke back to Japan?
Yes, I know it's unfair of me to follow my own interests like this.
Coming here especially to tell me. You're a stickler for etiquette, aren't you? Well, what are his feelings?
We've never discussed it, of course, and Naruhodo-san has made no such suggestion. I worry that perhaps I'd be a burden to him.
He's just as much of a stickler for etiquette as you are. He'd never say anything before he was asked. But I'd feel happy knowing you were with him. Look out for him on my behalf, will you?
Of course.
Susato-san.
What do you think, Naruhodo-san?
With you by my side, no trial would seem too daunting. So if you're willing, I'd be honored if you'd come with me. Together we can take on the world.
I'm terribly incompetent, but if you'll have me, I'd be delighted.
What do you mean? You're not incompetent at all. You're
You're like the opposite of incompetent.
Oh, no, not at all. If anyone's terribly incompetent, it's me.
What's wrong?
Your luggage, Susato-san. There's no time. The ship's going to set sail any minute now.
It's all right. There's no need to worry. As it happens, my luggage is already on board too.
It is?
Your fine judicial assistant has everything in hand as always, I see.
Bruno, your ship's about to leave.
Holy crap, voice acting for Iris?
Time to go then. Look after yourself, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma, draw your sword.
What? What? What was that? Draw his sword? Okay.
One day, when our paths cross, once more, we'll fight a duel of words across the courtroom. A day I eagerly await as a lawyer.
I've been waiting to hear you say that, partner.
Don't forget me then, Kazuma.
As if I could, Ryunosuke.
And Mr. Sholmes, thank you so much. I'm very much indebted to you.
We really need to go, don't we?
Indeed, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe you are.
I'll never forget all you've done for me during my time in London.
Quite. I should like to think you will remember your debt of gratitude. Especially when I visit you in your country.
Oh. Oh.
What? The truth is, although many are ignorant of the fact, the world is far smaller than most folk realize.
I wonder, did they plan a third game? Did they? And it's been axed?
Well, I'd be delighted if you came to Japan one day.
Oh yes, would welcome you with open arms, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, that sounds wonderful! I can't wait!
In that case, let us conclude that this is to be merely a brief parting, my dear fellows.
And that brings us to the end of my adventures in Great Britain. A peculiar twist of fate brought me halfway around the world those many months ago. But that was just the start of my journey. Who knows where fate will lead me next? Still, I'm confident this won't be my last meeting with the friends I've made in London. And when we're together again, no doubt the first words I'll hear will be,
Come, the game is afoot.
The ship, with our friends from the east, sailed steadily towards the distant horizon. But Sholmes' face was alight with joy. The times may change, but a steadfast friendship will remain true, Wilson. We have but to gently close our eyes, and we are with our companions once more.
So I do just that. And when I do, I can hear his strong, familiar voice ring out.
Objection!
Objection!
Until we meet again, Bruno.
Nice. I've been thoroughly inundated with inquiries about my remote cinematograph, but I'm no purveyor of electrical goods, and what of the promised close-court secrecy? Anyway, I've decided an absence from London is in order, a sojourn in distant climes. The Empire of Japan, perhaps. I understand that wardrobe class incurs no charge whatsoever. Wardrobe class? Oh yeah, you don't have any money, right? How would you go to Japan in the first place?
I gave a little note to Hurley the other day. It just said, "Thank you for everything, Daddy." It made Hurley cry. And I gave him some lotion I'd invented as well, to dye his hair red safely. But he said that might make him cry too, so he'd rather not use it.
Why would that make him cry? Red lotion?
In those days when I was known as the Reaper, I felt your presence at my side. Once unable to bear the burden of that grim pseudonym, I even retired from the courtroom. Despite everything, I still wear your prosecutor's badge with pride, but the darkness that once beset me is no more, as you too are no more. In the words of a young foreign friend of mine, I must stride forward toward a brighter future. The boss left a note for me, you know, and I can read every letter now, A to Z, the whole lot. It's cleared a load of stuff up. The boss was trying to protect me, see? And that's exactly what me and Chief Inspector Toby here are gonna keep doing for Londoners. I only wish I could have said how grateful I was before you know. Oh yeah, Gregson. Yeah, even though Gregson was part of the Reaper, he wanted to protect her from male Strongheart. Probably. That's why he wanted to take her with him.
Gina, the truth is, I'm not the upstanding fellow you think I am. You might be a diver at heart, but it's a good heart. You reminded me I need to be true to myself. Now I've got one more job to take care of before it's ta-ta to London town for the foreseeable. And then I've got to complete your education in the art of detection a la Gregson, as they say.
Your Excellency, this man is accused of illegal entry. Objection! Big overstatement overruled. The minister has been detained in Britain anyway. Who is the Scottish counsel for the defense, and women are forbidden to enter the court? Oh, really? My friend Susato-san is in the British courtroom all the time and doing a wonderful job. Perhaps I should have engaged the services of a regular legal team.
Wait, who entered Japan illegally? Surely not Sholmes? Sholmes, are you in Japan already?
Mama, is it true about Japanese people? Are they experts at filleting corpses? Yes, they are. Fish corpses on the whole. I'd like to hone my own filleting skills. You don't mind, do you, Mama? Yes, I do. I'm not a corpse yet, am I? No. And I'm glad. Why did you say that then? What's up with that kid? Here I am again, in Great Britain on the invitation of my dear old university friend. He sent me a very nice letter saying he'd like to show me around now that everything was settled. But what have I done? I was so excited I picked a splendid hotel and now I can't afford a bill. Bardock, come to my rescue again, please. I wish I could just vanish. That's on you, my dear. When I went to make the waxwork impression of the killer in the cemetery, I realized what had happened. But even in the witness stand of the highest court in the land, I could never speak of it. The Lord Chief Justice and I had struck a bargain, you see. For a faithful reproduction of the visage, there's nothing we trespass would not do. Shush. Everyone calls me Gossip. I said jaunty little tidbits about us, why, you know. Everyone calls me Peppino e la salad de spaghetti. Everyone, they call me... No, I cannot do it. This is ridiculous. Oh, Daly, how charming. You've made lots of new friends here, I see. Yes, and when we're released, we're all going to strike it rich together. Okay. I hope nothing illegal, right? When I was accepted on a foreign study tour, I knew exactly what path I had to take, and however it might have ended, I knew that I wanted you there to see it. If I'd ended up in the dock, there's no one I would have rather had defending me. But now, thanks to you, there's a new path I want to take. I'm sure we'll meet again in the courtroom, my friend. Until then, I leave Karuma in your care. I've made some tea, Naruhodo-san. It's important that you rest whilst you can. Once we arrive in Japan, you shall be busy establishing your new office. I'm so delighted to be accompanying you. After all, your talents have been recognized by a great detective. Because you really are the greatest of lawyers. A great ace attorney, some might say. Referring to the title of the games. Oh, my Daruma doll. And it's the credits, and we get to see Ryunosuke walking along our story. But wasn't the story led by Susato in the first case? I would have liked her to walk to some of the path, maybe. Ah, what a great game. Yeah, what can I say about this game? I mean, I already said a lot about the first game. And this game, yeah, this has every charm and fun and everything from the first game as well. And I loved it. I love how they foreshadowed characters from the first game. And ended the story
in the second game. How they kept information from us, I didn't expect that. Like a whole case just banished from the first game. I must say it was a little bit obvious that Strongheart was the mastermind behind all of this, because who else could have been, right? And also his evil demeanor, always expressionless like a psychopath. I do think that was a little bit too obvious, but the way we got to the end, that was a very winded path, so with lots of twists and turns. I love the revelation how Wilson wasn't Sherlock's partner after all, as we would expect him to be. And the tap dancing, that was really nicely done. And it's not as though there were no signs of that, right? Because Mikotoba looks exactly like how I would imagine a Watson in a Sherlock Holmes story. Especially after he came to London in that hat and moustache and the Western suit. This game really did some kind of misdirection in presenting him in his Japanese attire at first in Japan, so we would not see the connection. But I mean, of course, Wilson also looked exactly like a Watson. And I'm kind of glad they used different names, because it would be rather strange not to have Watson as Sherlock Holmes' partner. So it makes sense that Sherlock Holmes would have a different partner, right? Yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. It's a great game. And thank you for watching till the end. If you like this Let's Play, like this video and subscribe as always, and see you next time somewhere else. Bye!